Welcome back everyone to Blender and Unreal Engine becoming a dungeon prop artist. Now let's first of all, before we continue, because we're going to be doing the books next, I just want to show you what the atlas actually looks like. So here is the atlas, and when you open this up, you can see that instead of the actual trim sheets where it's going across, this one is just put into blocks. So you basically have to get your actual UV map and place it over each one of these. I'm also going to show you how we can actually change the colors on here. You already know pretty much if we're using an RGB curves, we can change them into darker or lighter blocks. So you've got a lot of actually variations that way, but you can also change the color as well. So we'll discuss that shortly. So let's first of all though, think about actually creating our book. So we have 6 real different types of books. So let's create those now. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to come in, make sure that my cursor's in the center, press Shift A and bring in a cube. And then all I'm going to do is just make it the kind of book kind of shape. So I'm going to press S and Z and then S and Y. Don't worry too much about the sizing of them at the moment or anything like that. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to press 1. I'm going to bring them up, move them over, and then I'm going to press Shift D. And then I'm going to press Shift D, like so. And then what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to join all of these together. So I'm going to press Ctrl J, join them all together. And then finally what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in now with Fade Select and just grab the backs of them. I'm going to pull them out like so. And then I'm going to press Tab, Ctrl A, all transforms, right click to origin to geometry. And now finally, I'm just going to come in to the backs of them like so. Press Ctrl B and pull them out. And then finally, all I'm going to do is just turn off the segments, maybe to 2, something like that. All right, so they're my first lot of books. Now let's create the next lot of books. So I'm just going to press Shift A, bring in a cube again. I'm going to also press S and X, bring them in, and then S and Z, and just make them roughly to the same size as the other one. You can see they're a little bit big there. As I say, don't worry too much about the actual size. I'm going to make these a little bit taller, like so. And now what I want to do is just bring them out. So S and Y, I do want them roughly to be sort of the actually the same size. Now what I'm going to do with this one is I'm just going to grab each side up here. I'm going to press Ctrl B. And I'm just going to bevel them off like so. Now you'll notice there that I did bevel them off without actually resetting my transforms. And that's because I know I can get away with actually doing it that way on this actual occasion. All right, again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this book, press Shift D, and then Shift D, like so. And now we've got 3 of them. Now let's see if I can bring these in now. So the problem we're going to have is, can we actually bring in an edge loop? Let's do these first. So if I bring in an edge loop here, Ctrl R, 2, left click, right click, and then what I want to do is now bring them out from each other. So I'm going to try and do them all at the same time. Let's see if we can. So I'm going to come to this one now, Ctrl R, 2, left click, right click, Ctrl R, 2, left click, right click. Now I just want to grab all of these and I want to pull them out from each other. And I don't think I can actually do it like this, but we'll give it a try. Individual origins, S and X, and there you go. You can't actually pull them out. So what you need to do is you need to grab each one, come to medium point, and now press S and X like so. And the reason we're doing that, of course, is because of the fact that we need to have pages in these books. So what we've done is we've pulled it out with S and X based on medium point, and that then is giving us our book bindings here. And now what I need to do is I just need to come down and copy this. So if I come down, I can click on it, press Ctrl C, and just copy that scale. Why am I doing that? Because now if I come in, click on these 2, press S, X, and just enter button, and then come down to where it says scale, press Ctrl V, and there you go. They'll be now exactly the same. So let's do the same on this. So S, X, and enter, Ctrl V, and there we go. Simple as that. Now let's come to these books here. So we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to grab them all together, Ctrl J, press Ctrl R, 2, and you can see that we've got a bit of a problem on these, that we can't even get it to go back to there. So how do we actually fix that? There is actually a real easy fix. All we need to do is come to our little vertex option, click on this one, press the J button, and what that's going to do is it's going to actually bring in an edge loop nearly all the way around. So we just need to go down the bottom and do that. Press press J button, and now I should be able to bring in my edge loops like the other books, which you can see that we can do there. All right, so that's really good to know. Now let's come in and do the same on this one. So this one here, J, and then let's do this one and this one, J, and then let's come in and do this one. And finally this one. Control R, 2, left click, right click, and then just the same on each of these, like so. And now finally, let's come in and pull these out a little bit so you can see they're not quite in the right place. So Alt Shift click, and I'm going to do the same thing again. So S and X, pull them out, copy, Control C, and the same now with this. So grab them both, S, X, enter, Control V, and the same now with this one. So SX, enter, and Control V. And there we go. All of our books nearly done. Now let's come into these three first. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab each of these going all the way around. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to press E and enter for extrude, and then Alt and S, and I should be able to bring those in and make them look like books, like so. Really, really nice way of doing it. All right, let's come into this now. So I'm going to grab all of these, exactly the same principle. Then I'm going to press E, enter, Alt and S, and bring them in like so. And there we go. Really, really nice books. All right, so now let's come in. And what we'll do is now we'll actually grab them all, Control J, and we'll try and do them all together realistically. First of all, though, I'm just going to make sure that my face orientation is okay, which it pretty much is. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to also shade smooth. I'm going to bring in auto smooth, and there we go. And I'm just looking to make sure I'm happy with these kind of edges on here. If you're not, all you can do is you can bring up this slightly, and there we go. We can actually get rid of these. I think I'm okay with these ones. They always want to be a bit more rounded, so they're fine. Let's turn off face orientation now, and we should be left with something like this. And now let's think about our actual seams. So you can see pretty much I've got all of these selected, which makes it really, really easy for me because now I can just press Control E, mark seams, and then all I need to do is just come in and just get rid of these seams on here like so. So I can right click now and clear seams. Now the other thing is, do we actually want these books beveled off? Do we actually want these parts at least beveled off? So we could come in and bevel them off going all the way around here. So I'm just going to give it a try with one just to see what it looks like, to see if it actually adds anything of value to what we're trying to do. So I'm just going to grab all of the edges. Now there is an easy way to grab all the edges, but on this occasion there's no point because we'll grab the inside edge as well. So I don't actually want to do that. And all I'm going to do now is just press Control B and just pull them out very slightly, like so. And then I'm going to turn down the segments, and now I'm just going to have a look at what that book looks like. And I don't think, let's put it on 30 again. I'm not sure whether I'm actually happy with it looking like that. I don't think it's actually worth it. So I'm just going to press Control Z, go back, and it was worth a check. All right, so now we need to create two more materials. So let's come over to our materials. Once again, we're going to grab both of these, Shift D, bring them over, and then I'm going to grab the first one, come to materials, and minus off the gemstone yellow, and then this one, minus off the gemstone white, and then we'll come back to this one, and we'll call it book cases. Bookcases or book covers, let's call it that, and then we're going to know exactly what this one is. And then we'll come to this one and we'll call this one book pages, like so, like so. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're just going to save it out, and on the next one what we'll do is we'll actually get these materials in and we'll get them into our asset manager as well, and we should have these books finished on the next one. And then we're going to move on to our barrels and crates and things like that, something a little bit different. All right everyone, so I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.